Hello YouTube, my name is Breezie, and in this video, I'm just reminding you that nothing falls apart. It's just rearranging and you're just a little bit uncomfortable. So us as human beings, we are used to patterns. We recognize patterns. We associate being comfortable with what we recognize, right? If something brings us nostalgia, if we, feel like we know something or we're familiar with it, then we're naturally more comfortable with that situation or that person, and we feel, safe in that situation, in that environment. But you have a higher self and you have a quote unquote lower self, right? So your higher self is always wanting you to be better. You may call this your intuition, you may call this God, the Holy Spirit, you may just call it, your higher self or your spirit or whatever. And it's something that wants you to reach the highest version of yourself, the highest frequency of yourself. So when you close your eyes and you think, okay, if I can imagine myself being the most successful, the most healthy, the most beautiful, accomplished version of myself, what is that, right? And whatever you imagine, you're subconsciously going to be going toward that all the time. And even though you may be experiencing bumps in the road, you may experience hardships and setbacks and things like that, you're always going toward that highest version of you, because once you have the vision, the universe conspires in your favor. So when things feel like they're falling apart, it's just an illusion. It's not really falling apart. Your life isn't really going downhill. It's just that things are rearranging for you to align with a higher version of yourself. So, in life, we have to go through stages. We have to experience things in order to obtain wisdom, right? We'll never know what it takes to be in a happy, harmonious relationship, and we'll never know how to fully control our emotions and how to communicate if we're not put in situations where we are tested. And we have to learn what not to do in order to understand what to do and how to do it right. So when you're in toxic relationships, right? You and this person are just not getting along. Y'all are not communicating well. And you feel like, oh my God, I'm always attracting these toxic relationships. Why am I always in these relationships? Why can't I never find a good guy? It's only because you're being taught lessons so that you can embody a more mature version, higher frequency version of yourself. We don't go through things for no reason. Right? We have to learn, we have to experience to learn. So that's why it doesn't matter what you go through. Always show gratitude to God, the universe, whatever you believe in. Always show gratitude. Always show appreciation for the lessons that you've been presented, because it doesn't matter what you go through, you're always going to be presented a lesson. Okay? Even if you feel like the victim, even if you feel like it wasn't your fault, even if you feel like you did everything you can to make the situation work, or, to make it successful and it didn't work, there's always lessons, right? So let's say, for example, you are fresh out of a relationship, you're going through a breakup, and you feel like you were with a very toxic person that didn't appreciate you and that didn't take your love didn't respect your love and didn't respect your services and took your presence for granted, right? A lesson, for example, to take from that is how to establish boundaries and stand on it. Because yes, you may be a victim of narcissistic abuse or emotional abuse, physical abuse, and things like that. And yes, we are victims at some point. You know, it's not fair to say you're never a victim, because we all are a victim, because before we know what we're getting ourselves into, you know, we have to fall victim, and we have to learn the hard way. So yes, we are a victim to certain things that may have caught us off guard, to people that may have tricked us or manipulated us. But we have to realize that, okay, yes, I went through this, but what can I learn from this situation so that I never repeat this pattern and this cycle ever again? How do I get myself out of this karmic loop, right? So now I know that, number one, never to ignore red flags in other people. Never to allow someone to cross my personal boundaries without me saying anything about it, or just walking away if they don't respect it. Or for example, never allowing someone to disregard my feelings, right? If I express something to them and they act like they don't care, or they just keep on doing that same thing over and over, you know, I have to understand that this is probably not the relationship for me, because I don't think this is love. You know, I don't think this is healthy. So, you know, there's always something to learn. And, you know, they say that the people that you attract are a reflection of you. And that's not all like necessarily true. I feel like the person you attract is it's a reflection of you, but only a part of you, right? So let's say you get with someone that is manipulative and has extreme anger issues, right? You may not be someone that is manipulative and have anger issues, but you may be someone who is an enabler. You may be someone who lacks boundaries, someone who is a bit naive, someone who is codependent. So even when someone is exuding toxic qualities, you accept it because maybe you think that this is the best you'll ever have, or maybe you think that you can change people, right? So it's always like a complementary toxic trait, right? We won't have the exact same toxic traits as the people we attract, but we always have a complementary toxic trait. That's why they say that, for example, a narcissist is always paired with an empath, because both of them are exuding toxic traits. One is a narcissist, but one is also very codependent, and one is a little bit naive, or maybe has low self-esteem. So it takes someone with that lack of self-awareness to even accept that type of situation. It takes that level of naivety. Is that naiveness? Gotta be naive. And you have to lack boundaries in order to even attract someone with those traits. So we have to look at ourselves and say, okay, what can I learn from this situation? How can I better myself? You know, for another example, like let's say you have to move back to your parents' house because life is lifing. Okay, maybe you had a kid, maybe you lost a job, you know, maybe you're just not adulting the way you thought you was finna adult, and you have to move back with a parent, or you have to move back with a friend or something like that, and you feel like you're taking steps behind. Even that is an illusion of your life falling apart. You're really just being put in a position where now you can actually save money, right? Where before you might have been living alone, now you're rooming with someone, or now you're living with your parents again. So now you have the opportunity to save money. Now you have the opportunity to save, honestly. Like that's like the biggest advantage. Maybe you have, maybe you're closer to your job, or maybe you have support from your family. Maybe you have a friend to talk to, you know? So never think that you're going backwards. You're only slowly aligning with the highest version of yourself, and whatever it takes to get to that point, you're just gonna go through, right? So I feel like, in life, sometimes we feel like, oh my gosh, I thought I was supposed to be rich by now. I thought I was supposed to be married by now. I thought I was supposed to have kids by now. I thought my business was supposed to be like a multi-million dollar business. And as long as we have that vision and we believe that we can achieve that, you're always going to be moving towards that vision subconsciously. It's the same way, like let's say you envision yourself having supportive friends that are reciprocal and that support you and love you for real, right? But in this current reality, right, today you feel like, I feel like my friends don't really support me. I feel like I have a couple fake friends around me and I don't trust everyone around me. So you say a prayer at night and you say, God or the universe, please reveal people in my life that are not meant to be here. Please reveal people in my life that are meant to be here. Please help me see the people who are here for me and that love me for me. And please allow me to clearly see people who are not here for me and allow, me to have clairvoyance and discernment. And before you know it, right, because you're already seeking these answers, girl, the life is going to reveal itself. People are going to reveal themselves. Before you know it, people are going to be showing you signs that, whoa, I do not need to associate with this person anymore. They may do something that shocks you. They may disrespect you. You may find something out about that person or what they said about you. You'll never know, like, the weird ways, the universe will let you know things and bring things to your attention. So, once you find out that you have someone in your circle that doesn't have your best interests at heart, that's not your life falling apart. That's not everything going down the drain. That is the universe realigning you with people that are really meant for you. That is the universe aligning you with what you asked for. You asked for fake people to be revealed, and that's exactly what you got. Now that you see what you need to do and you see clearly what's going on, now you can maneuver and now you can continue to work towards a higher, more refined, and more fulfilling version of yourself. And now you can, make some adjustments to your social circle and, your friends, so you don't have any fakies around you and any frenemies. So, nothing happens by mistake. It's when life feels like it's falling apart, it's literally just an illusion. No matter how painful it may feel, no matter how hard it is to go through, no matter how lost you feel, understand that there is a learning lesson in every single experience. Even when you're feeling like you've been having bad luck year after year after year, there's something that you're not doing for yourself that's getting you out of this situation. There's a reason why you're in this situation. Maybe you need to get rid of certain habits. Maybe you need to stop spending money on drugs, on alcohol. Maybe you need to stop spending money on pleasing the opposite sex. Maybe you need to focus on yourself and stop dating for a minute so you can focus on what you want in life and what makes you feel fulfilled. So, when we feel stagnant and we feel like, oh my God, like I feel like I've been in the same spot, in the same position, in the same financial, position for years and years, and I feel like I'm stuck, then that is the perfect opportunity to take a step back and to ask yourself, what am I not doing for myself? What do I need to sacrifice in order to feel more fulfilled, more free, and more productive? What habits do I need to adopt in order to feel more progressive in my life? Do I need to start waking up earlier? Do I need to start eating healthy? Do I need to start making content? Do I need to start that business that I've been wanting to start for the last 8 years? Once we separate ourselves and we embrace our solitude and we quiet out the noise, which is phones, TV, radio, friends, relationships, everything outside of ourselves is the noise, right? Once we quiet the noise and we can just sit in our thoughts for a second. Just breathe, sit there for as long as it takes, and trust me, you're gonna come back to yourself. There are so many distractions. I mean, there is a post every millisecond on our phones. There are 100 social media platforms that keep us distracted. So instead of focusing on ourselves, we tend to focus on what other people have going on, what other people's relationships look like on social media, what other people's business looks like, what their success seems to be. And then we start to be hard on ourselves, and then we start to feel even more overwhelmed and stagnant and stuff like that. So just quiet all the noise, because number one, nothing is what it seems. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Nothing is what it seems. No one's relationship is what it seems. No one's marriage is what it seems. No one's business is what it seems. We don't know what people have to go through behind closed doors in order to maintain these images. So go ahead and just assume that everyone has the same problems as you, because they probably do. Okay? So quiet the noise. Take a deep breath, or maybe 10 in a row, if it takes more time for you to quiet your mind a little bit, and really ask yourself the real questions. What habits do I need to give up today to be my higher self, to embody my higher self? What habits do I need to adopt to embody my higher self? What people do I need to cut off in order to think clearer and invite beautiful, high vibrational people into my life? Is this relationship serving me, or is this relationship holding me back? Right? Is my family pushing me to be a better version of myself, or is my family holding me back? Are my friends pushing me to be a better version of myself? Are my friends supporting me? Are my friends making me feel, confident in myself and motivated, or are they holding me back? And once you are real with yourself, now you can slowly start to make adjustments. But because, once again, we are people of patterns, we understand what's familiar to us. Every single thing that we change, it's going to make you uncomfortable. It has to, because we understand what we're used to. So everything that you subtract out of your life, it's gonna make you a little bit uncomfortable. Some things worse than others, right? Maybe disassociating with a friend may be very hard for you, or it may be easy, who knows? Maybe trying to get rid of a bad habit, maybe a smoking habit, will be very hard for you, because of the chemicals in this, GMO weed nowadays. So some habits may be harder to get rid of than others, but just understand that when you're uncomfortable, it's not because your life is falling apart, it's just because your brain recognizes what it's used to, and your brain recognizes pleasure and dopamine, and like dopamine triggers and hits and stuff like that. And your brain recognizes what made you happy, right? But we all know that what makes us comfortable and what makes us happy is not always what's best for us, right? So look at yourself outside of yourself, like you're your own parent. Like, if I was my own child, what would I tell myself to do right now? If I was my own parent, would I tell myself to still associate with these people as my friends? If I was my own parent, would I still tell myself to be in this relationship? If I was my own parent, what would I tell myself to do with my money? If I was my parent, what would I tell myself if I had to move in with a friend, a roommate, with a family member, or back to my parents' house? Would I tell me, that's a bad idea? Or would I tell me, you're probably in a position where you have an advantage now? Now you can save money. Now you can have support from family members. Now you can kind of go back to a place where you grew up, and now you feel grounded and you feel, like comfortable. Now you can restart your life, right? So yes, I'm just making this video so I can remind you guys that sometimes life gets very uncomfortable and things feel like they're not going in the right direction, but keep your vision in your mind. Keep your vision of your highest version. Keep your vision of the most beautiful version of yourself, the most healthiest version of yourself, the most successful version of yourself. Keep this in mind, visualize it. You know, my dad used to tell me, close your eyes and visualize the perfect day. What is the perfect day for you? And you know what? I'll try it. I'll try it on camera. Okay, so I'm gonna take a deep breath first so I can like really think, calm my mind down, and I'm gonna try to play out the perfect day for me. The perfect day for me is me waking up in a big bed with a room with all windows. And the sun is beaming through the windows, and when you look outside the window, it's nothing but nature and greenery and water and just beautiful like nature. The sun is shining really bright and the room is filled with natural light, and the room looks white. The floor is white, the bed sheets are white, the walls are white, everything is just white. And I look to my right side and I see my beautiful husband. I see my husband and he looks healthy, he looks strong, he looks built, and he has a beard. Oh. He has a beard, and I hear kids in the other room. How many kids? Maybe 2 kids. And okay, so I look down at my phone and I see, oh my gosh, I see a bunch of orders from my website. I see a bunch of sales from my courses. I see, oh my gosh, I sold a couple books today. I sold courses today. I sold a bunch of hair products today. I got a text message from someone that wants me to do a speaking engagement. Okay, so I check my phone for all my business, you know, my sales and stuff like that. I go on my social medias and I see, okay, maybe I need to post something, promote something. Let me post a flyer to post my, you know, my speaking engagement or whatever. Okay, cool. So now that business is done, okay, I lean to the side and I hug my husband and I kiss him, and we're talking about what we're gonna do today. I ask him, you know, what do you have going on today? Is there anything I can help you with? And he's telling me what he's about to do today and what he has to work on. And I said, okay, cool. So then I wake up and I have a maid. I have a maid and a chef. Nice. So I asked the maid to help me out around the house and things like that because the kids done tore up the basement. And I asked my chef to help me cut up some vegetables for me so I can start making breakfast and stuff. So we go downstairs, I turn on some music, and now the whole house is filled with music. And when I look around my house, everything is bright. Like it's nothing but like windows everywhere, and you know, natural light is coming through. And every time I look out the window, I see greenery, I see a beach, I see an ocean. Like I just see, like maybe we live in somewhere tropical or something. So so now I'm like, okay, we got food together, and I have a boy and a girl. Seems like the boy is the oldest and the girl is the second oldest. Um, so we're eating. My husband's not downstairs yet. I don't know what he's doing. He's late for breakfast. Me and the kids are eating, and but they're restless. They don't really eat breakfast, so they're wanting to go outside and play. And my kids, they have a lot of knowledge when it comes to homemaking and stuff like that. So my daughter wants to go garden and my son wants to go like boxing or something, or he wants to do something physical. So they do that, and then I get a call. Ring, 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 ring. Hey, hello, how you doing? Oh, is this Miss Breezie? Yes, it is. Yeah, we want to offer you 25,000 to talk at this event. We want you to talk about, knowledge of self. We want you to talk about business, and we want you to inspire women, and that's our audience, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, no problem. Thank you. Yes, I would definitely love to do it. Just let me know, when to be there and blah blah blah. Oh, it's tonight. Oh my God, it's tonight. Oh my God. Okay, so so now I have to get dressed. I already have all of my like my blueprint and my curriculum ready for my speaking engagement, because I don't get ready, honey, I stay ready. So I just read over my notes and read over what I'm going to talk about. I have an hour set, so I try to reduce my topics to an hour. And I say, okay, I rehearse a little bit. My husband comes in and he asks me, are you good? You need help rehearsing or anything? You want to role play? Yeah, sure, why not? So so then he acts like someone in the audience, and he's like, asking me a question, pretending to be some like an audience member, and I'm just answering his question. So I'm practicing, how to engage and stuff like that. So I said, okay, cool. You good, you ready. So then the kids are still home, so I have to leave early because I have to take a flight. So, oh my gosh, I take a flight, private jet or first class, don't matter. And I get there and I'm a little bit nervous. I have my assistant with me. And I have my team that is there. They bring all my books, they bring all my merchandise. I have shirts, I have mugs, I have journals, I have all this stuff that people are able to buy. And I have a booth set up at the event too. Even though I got booked last minute, my team is on point, honey. They set up my booth. They made it look really nice. Everything is pink. I have a easy breezy theme. I have a Galaxy Girl side and maybe like a beauty masterminds or whatever my brand is called at that point. And then I sit with my team and I'm like, okay, I say a prayer. Thank you to the creator. I appreciate everything you're doing for us today. Please allow us to stay strong, be courageous, allow us to have a smooth show, allow us to be able to work together and communicate effectively, and allow us to have a successful evening. We're grateful that we're able to do what we love. We're grateful that we're able to get paid doing what we love. And everyone is like feeling it, like, yeah. So, okay, I love myself. I love everyone here. I'm so grateful. Thank you, God, for this opportunity. Everyone, yeah. Everyone's like, yeah, let's get it. So I get out on stage, I do my speech, the crowd is going crazy, the music plays, everything's going crazy. So then after the engagement, I get paid, boom. I take my flight back home. I get home early in the morning and my husband's still there. The kids are there. I'm so happy. Then we start watching TV together and we start doing fun activities. I start teaching my kids about spirituality. And then my husband tells me that he has to go do something tomorrow. So I'm like, okay, so we try to spend the night together. And we try to, remind ourselves, always communicate. If you ever feel like distant from me, let me know. We can get through everything with communication and with grace and compassion for one another. and we have our kids with us too, so they can, you know, I can allow them to witness me and my husband being intimate with each other, not sexual but intimate. And you know, we remind our kids, you know, always communicate with us no matter what. um yeah, I'm having so much fun doing this. um and the kids, you know, they don't really understand what's going on, they don't understand what compassion and communication is, but you know, at least they're hearing it and they're just like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. So then the kids go to sleep, me and my husband go to sleep, and I'm just wrapped around him, and I'm just my arms are around him, and we go to sleep, and I start dreaming about something beautiful. Wow. Yo, first of all, I don't think I've ever done that exercise like that out loud. And I've definitely never done that on camera. But wow, that was fun. That was really fun. Every time I think about the perfect day for me, it always is like that. Like, you know, when people ask me, you know, what do you want to be? Like, you know, do you want a salon, and do you want this, and do you want that? You know, I never really like say that. I always say like I just want freedom. And every time I think about the perfect day, I'm always like having like a very easygoing life. Like I don't really imagine myself like involved with the hustle and bustle, or like doing all this extra stuff. Like I imagine myself having a very like creative, free life, you know? I definitely see family in my future and things like that. So just me like replaying that vision in my mind, like it is inspiring, it's comforting, and it makes me happy that, you know, God gave me that vision. Because if he can give me a vision that beautiful, you know, the fact that I know that something that beautiful is obtainable for me, you know, it really does keep me going, and does keep me faithful. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I was such in a vulnerable position just now. Oh my goodness. I never did that on camera. But yes, once again, always remember that your life isn't falling apart. Sometimes you just have to go through, you know, different scenarios and different situations that you thought you wouldn't have to go through, but it's for your greater good, because you're being put in a situation where you can learn, and or put in a situation where you can actually do better. So let's say, you know, you're looking at your friends that have, you know, their husband and their big old house, but you're still living with your parents. You know, don't look at that as you being behind, because, you know, remember, never envy anyone else's life, because you don't know what's going on behind their doors. Just take into consideration that, yeah, I live with my parents right now, but I have an opportunity to restart my life. I have an opportunity to reground myself. I have guidance from my parents. I have a sense of familiarity with this environment. I have an opportunity to save money. You know, never, ever, ever sleep on the opportunity to save money, because once you live out by yourself, and once you're paying bills all by yourself, life hits harder than a brick. Okay? So always see the beauty in your situation, and always acknowledge the blessings. All right, so if you're not subscribed to my channel already, make sure you go ahead and do that. Turn on your notifications, and I'll see y'all in the next video. And I'll see y'all later.